Here's a story from California in 1994. In 1994, California was experiencing a transformative time. The state was known for its booming economy. And yet, it was also a period marked by significant events that would leave a lasting impact on the state and the country. One of the most notable occurrences in California that year was the infamous Northridge earthquake. On January 17, 1994, a magnitude 6.7 earthquake struck the Northridge area in Los Angeles, shaking the entire region. It was a devastating event that changed the lives of many people, including a man named David, who lived in the San Fernando Valley, not far from where the earthquake struck. David was a 32-year-old who had lived in California his whole life. On the morning of the earthquake, he was getting ready for work. The day started like any other, with a cup of coffee in hand and a plan to tackle the tasks at his job in downtown Los Angeles. But at 4:30 a.m., everything changed. A sudden, violent shake rattled his home, and before he could react, his entire apartment seemed to be shaking violently. The walls cracked, shelves toppled, and furniture crashed to the floor. David was thrown out of his bed as the ground beneath him bucked and swayed. He scrambled to get up and find his bearings, but everything seemed like a blur. The shaking lasted for what felt like an eternity, though in reality it was only about 10 to 20 seconds. When it finally stopped, David found himself in a panic-stricken state, unsure of what had just happened. When the tremors subsided, David's apartment complex had sustained significant damage. Walls had cracked, windows shattered, and the building's structural integrity was in question. He quickly grabbed his things and ran outside to check on his neighbors. Like many others, he was stunned and shaken, and it quickly became clear that Los Angeles was facing one of the most destructive earthquakes the city had ever experienced. In the days that followed, the full scope of the devastation became clear. The earthquake caused widespread damage throughout Los Angeles and beyond, with nearly 60 people losing their lives and thousands more injured. Roads were cracked, bridges collapsed, and buildings were left in ruins. The loss of property was in the billions of dollars. David's own apartment building was deemed unsafe, and he was forced to find shelter elsewhere, like so many others affected by the quake. Despite the tragedy, the community came together in remarkable ways. People helped their neighbors, opened their homes to the displaced, and contributed to the massive relief efforts that followed. In the midst of the devastation, there was also a sense of resilience and hope. People worked together to rebuild their lives, and California, in true fashion, began to recover. David, like many others, would never forget the morning of January 17, 1994. The Northridge earthquake was a reminder of nature's power, but it also highlighted the strength of the human spirit. Through the adversity, Californians showed that they could come together in times of crisis and rebuild stronger than before.